All right, y'all. We are now live on Facebook. So if you want to share it so people can join the party, or you want to host a watch party, you would have to pick a watch party on the Mahogany. And that's how your friends and everybody will be able to see, engage party, and you can just either start a watch party or you can just share it, whichever you would like to do. Okay. All right. So y'all, it's 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the party. What's up, y'all?
How it was going down.
Thank you for the invite.
No problem. That's a big old mug.
You said fix you a drink.
That's a big old mug.
I'm just saying. It's been a long week.
Ooh, it had to be. Oh, that's like a. I ain't it. I gotta look up.
You know, because we talking about these shots, so I got that to the side as well.
Yeah, so we are taking shots. We're taking shots. Adonis, so before anybody say anything, if they don't see Adonis, take a shot. That's because it's Ramadan.
Right.
For the feds, he would not okay. In the shot. But the code word is anniversary. I mean, anytime somebody's anniversary, we start. Already. And don't y'all be able to try and take no shots of water or boom
I'm not gonna cheat. It's Friday.
You do this heel on your own time, okay? So thank you everybody for joining the virtual project. I did send a donation link at the bottom of this live, so if anybody would like to drop a donation for the anniversary, feel free to all of our viewers. Go to the Mahogany Project page, go to About Fiction, and you can donate via our link tree and become a monthly donor. My hope is that at least 5 people who will support us at the amount of $30 or more, and I would greatly appreciate that. And you can do that on the Mahogany Project page by going to About Me, then clicking on our link tree. Or Darian's favorite way for people to donate is if you are an Amazon shopper, go to smile.amazon.com. You can
Absolutely.
Project is your organization of choice, and every time you buy something from Amazon, it'll donate a portion of those proceeds to the Mahogany Project. So there's just a few ways you guys can help us out and help support some amazing programming that we do here in the Mahogany Project. So just intros, we're gonna kick it off with intros. I want you guys to tell us who you are, your pronouns, and one thing you like or love about the Mahogany Project or what we do. So the person that's to the top left to me is Jordan. So we're gonna go Daryl, and then I'll go last.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Jordan Edwards. My pronouns are he, his, and him. And what I love about the Mahogany Project is it's diverse, but it's not just diverse on the outside, it's also diverse on the inside. And I find that to be very rewarding to be following around this community with the Mahogany Project.
Okay. Mook?
Oh, it's on me. Okay. My name is Pharaoh Lockett, but everybody knows me as Mookie. My pronouns are he, him, his. What I love about the Mahogany Project is just the way it puts on for the LGBTQIA community, creating awareness and just providing a safe space for us all to come together, and the activism and just making the world a better place for us. So I salute y'all for that, for real.
Awesome, appreciate it. And you are currently the Man of the Year, right?
I am. I brought the Man of the Year is here. It's ready for the party. We here. Man of the Year award right here.
Come on, Gary.
Yes.
Gary?
Oh, it's on me. I am Darian Dyro, also known as the Sophisticated One. I am from Chicago. My pronouns is he, him. I like nigga and bitch too, because I feel like they're gender neutral. So I like those two. And my favorite thing, one of my favorite things about the Mahogany Project is the My Body is Beautiful campaign. Is just one of the campaigns that we have where we allow people to showcase their body in whatever way that they would like. And just speaking about my body being beautiful in whatever way that is, the way that it is.
Okay. Byron?
Hey everybody, my name is Byron Bankhead. My pronouns are he, him, and his. My favorite thing about the Mahogany Project is just the amount of consistency that I see. That would be my favorite thing. I like that it's always something going, something to be thought about, something to be considered, something to be, or somebody to be included. It's just always consistent with whatever it's doing. So.
Kimmy, you there?
I am.
Okay.
My turn. Hey, motherfuckers, it's Kimmy Doll. Y'all know I have a real raunchy mouth. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and sometimes they, and a little bit of he sometimes too. I love Vernus because I actually see him actually get in the mud, and he does the work, and he's passionate about the work. So Vernus as a person is amazing. All the work he does for the Mahogany Project is even more amazing.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It's on my cousin.
Ooh, my turn. Oh, what's going on, everybody? My name's Donis. It is the same dude, never the lame dude, but the main dude. I definitely absolutely adore the Mahogany Project for a myriad of reasons. First, it's one of the few organizations that I see that primarily focus on Black people of trans experience. Like that, hands down, I love that. I didn't see too much of that during my whole, like when I came out, or even up until a couple of years ago. So the fact that we have the Mahogany Project provides a platform for that is just like amazing on so many levels, and that is needed for people of all trans experiences, not just for trans women, but it also includes trans masculine individuals, and knowing that I hold one close and dear to my heart. That is definitely important to be able to have something that they're able to have a brave space and a safe space. And I was beyond honored to be Ally of the Year. And again, I just constantly just want to applaud my cousin because Vernus does a lot. Yeah, even though Vernus says sometimes they maybe last minute, trust and believe that Vernus goes hard in the paint and does stay up a lot in the late night hours of making sure all these things happen. So kudos to y'all, and kudos for allowing me to be a part of it.
All right. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Not hard to paint, though.
Throw a bed harder to paint.
My head was the ice cream paint job. Okay, come on. It's on you, sis.
Okay. I love me some the Mahogany Project. The Mahogany Project it's a millennial-based ran organization. And it's always for LGBTQ folks, whether that is raising awareness about HIV, all the way down to anything trans related. And I think that it is so important to raise awareness about the issues that folks with trans experience face, and the fact that this organization is willing to teach, educate, and actually get in the trenches with folks and help folks out on a daily basis is amazing. And the fact that it was started by a Black person that is a millennial is even more amazing to me. So I'm here to support the Mahogany Project in whatever it needs, always.
Shouts out to the millennials.
All right, so I am Vernis McFarland. I am the founder and executive director of the Mahogany Project. My pronoun is Vernis. And my favorite thing about the Mahogany Project is actually the fact that I'm able and have been able to meet all of you guys. I actually met all of you through the Mahogany Project, and me and Adonis actually found out we was cousins by me going to
Right.
That's crazy.
When we talk about one of the things that I love about the Mahogany Project and building community, it's like I get to like know all of you cool cats and kittens. Like that's like one of the best parts for me. And like to continuously, travel places and spaces and get to meet more people and create more change in different places. So that's by far is one of my favorite things about the Mahogany Project. And so there are some people on this live right now that have some amazing organizations as well. Like Mookie has an amazing organization. How about you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Oh yeah, so I started this movement called Even Me. Basically, I feel like there are so many roads to the divine presence that we know as God or Allah. And so I just kind of like to explore like all these different paths because they all lead us to the same divine spirit that we are seeking in this higher frequency that we all want to operate on. So I like to be more about that, more of a spiritual thing versus like all the religion. To me, it just creates like diversiveness, and divisiveness among people. So I'd rather bring people together around the fact that we all just searching for that higher power. So that's just kind of what we do. And, God loves everybody, even me. So.
Come on, Don, tell us a little bit about your organization.
Okay, so the M Squared, known for the minority mission, is basically a organization task force that we make sure that we provide opportunities and spaces to people as far as connecting them with services, not only dealing with whatever their health status may be, but also socioeconomic status, like any social service that we can assist you with that we're here. It's something that is primarily millennial men of color that was done intentional. And I love the fact of being able to collaborate with the Mahogany Project. Oh, and I did not say it earlier. So my pronouns are, I answer to all of them. So I'm not too big on it. No, you just don't call me late for dinner. I'm good.
Okay. So Marnita, tell us about your organization.
So I am Florida Sunshine. This organization is a millennial red-based organization here in Houston, Texas. And our main goal is to do political engagement of LGBTQ folks. We have a lot of issues here in the city of Houston that impacts LGBTQ folks on a huge basis, especially politically. And there are so many laws and legislation that is totally against us. And it's time that we take the power back in our own hands as young folks, as LGBTQ folks, and it's time for us to politically engage. So that's what Florida Sunshine is all about. And keep looking out for us, because I'm going to be sure to put out some more content, especially since we're in this quarantine and folks got time to be on their phones and politically engage with us. So look out for us. We're going to do a lot of political digital engagement really soon.
Giving the people what they need to keep them during the quarantine, y'all.
Hey.
Okay.
I know you're working with an amazing organization as well here locally in Houston. You want to tell us some more about that organization?
You was talking to me?
No, you the only Kimmy on here.
I didn't hear you say Kimmy. I'm sorry. I am the program manager for the Normal Anomaly Initiative. Where my program manager, Ian L. Haddock, shout out to Ian, that's my dog. We use social justice as a way to show us how we are more alike than different. We do have 3 projects, 2 podcasts, The Real Gag. I'm trying to work and talk to y'all. This is a lot. Call me multitask diva when this is done. We have The Real Gag, and we also have T2P, which is also with our other program manager, Titan Capri.
All right. Okay. Come on, y'all. And I wanted to say I'm glad that I have two of my amazing co-hosts on from In Living Colors. Joelle was not able to make it. Joelle is like a huge part of the Mahogany Project, and I hate that she's not here. I just want to give shout outs to Joelle. So y'all make sure y'all drop some love for Joelle in the comments. She had to run over for work today, but Joelle does a lot of like our blogs. She handles like our media. Joelle does a lot, and I'm really appreciative for Joelle and all that she does with the Mahogany Project.
That's boss lady.
I hate that she not, but she keeps it running in the background. And I appreciate her for everything she do. I just hate that she could not be here to join us. So yeah, shout out to Joelle. Okay. So yeah, I have a question for y'all. I want this to be engaging at the same time too. So all of us are like engaged in community in some kind of way. That's our thing. We are community leaders, community advocates. We have different movements and different tasks. Name a stigma that you're looking to break or address in the next coming year. Byron.
A stigma that I'm working on breaking. As you know, I've been really kind of starting to get my feet wet with just the stigma around just HIV. Or I say getting my feet wet, but as far as getting outside of the work and actually getting into the community with it. So yeah, that's something, just the stigma, ignorance around HIV, because I feel like that's just the number one killer, honestly, when talking about HIV, it's the stigma. So that's something that I still want to chip in.
Okay, what about you, Jordan?
I'm currently trying to work on breaking the stigma behind whatever label you put me under doesn't define me. When somebody thinks that you are a certain type of way and they put something on you, they expect you to be all that way. That doesn't mean that that's who you are. I may be one day this way and one day another way. Who knows what I want to be chilling with on a daily basis. Put it like that.
Okay, got you. Okay. What about you, Darian? What stigmas are you looking to break?
I'm into fashion, so I like the idea that you only like are masculine or feminine, and like it's not that in between space within the fashion world. And this idea that if a man wear a woman clothes, like he's like cross-dressing or something like that. And I think we have to remove those labels and allow people to label themselves. And so the stigma that I want to break is allowing people putting labels up on people and not allowing their labels to be heard.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my bro Mookie. What you feeling? How you feeling?
For me, it's just that disbelief that God doesn't love you, or you sinning, or you doing something wrong. Be you, do you, and you good.
Okay. I know you multitasking because you the multitasking diva. But Kimmy, what are you looking
I
at?
just have a lot going on, but I'm here. So a stigma that we are currently working on to end this year and moving forward is, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say it the wrong way, but anyway, mental health is important. So we are running programs that actually focus on HIV, how it affects your mental health, and how you need to stop allowing people to tell you, hey, don't go get the help that you need, for people to actually feel, brown people to actually feel comfortable with getting the assistance that they need that's based around mental health as well as HIV.
Okay. Now, I did save this last person for last for a certain reason, because I know all of us work in stigma reduction, but I know this is a huge part of what this person does on multi-different levels. So, Marnina, come on, sis, what stigmas are you looking to break in the coming year?
Well, hold on, before we start, Marnita, you and we I want you to think you was really saving me for last, because I ain't got nothing that's gonna follow anything, Marnita.
I did. I am always. Could I forget the done? Oh, mercy, Jesus. Come on. Sorry, Manita. We got to cut to a done. Pull a done is real quick.
Mainly, honestly, like from what I've heard before, seems like what Jordan said, my biggest thing that I'm trying to fight against right now is the stigma dealing with toxic masculinity amongst Black and brown men. From from childhood, we're always taught that we can't share these emotions, that we have to subscribe this way, we have to do this, we have to navigate the world through this. So definitely making sure that I check it when I can, educate when I can. Another reason why I say I go by all pronouns, because since, like Jordan said again, that I'm not defined by whatever labels put upon me. And I don't want anybody coming behind me, especially any young boys, black boys or brown boys, any boys in general, to feel as though that they have to operate a certain way to assimilate to how the world says they need to be, quote unquote, defined as a man.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry I forgot about you previously.
That's how you do.
Well, finally at the last person that I explained. You know, they work. So, sis, what you got for us?
So you cannot forget about the dummies, okay? I don't even know how you did that one.
Of all people.
He gonna get you for this later. But
let me live this down.
Never.
Not a lot.
So I think one thing that I'm really, really passionate about is language justice. So whether that is we're talking about the HIV epidemic, whether we're talking about fat phobia, whether we're talking about Black and brown folks in poverty, language justice for me is an important stigma to erase. We use some harsh language when it comes to folks. And we always say sticks and stones will break your bones and words will never hurt you. But that is untrue. Like, words are the worst thing that we can use against folks. And words can be so damaging to a person's psyche. It could destroy your mental health. It could lead you to do some horrible, horrible decision making. And so one thing that I'm really passionate about this year and that I'm gonna start talking about a little bit more is fat phobia. I talked about it a little bit last year, and Vernice, you really helped me expound on the fat phobia that I was experiencing, but I'm going to take it to an even bigger level and talk about fat phobia in like the mental health arena, because that's one thing that a lot of folks aren't talking about, and a lot of people aren't accessing care because of fat phobia. So fat phobia is another major one of mine.
Make sure you call me good sis when you start that. I need a little part in that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that actually makes three of us. So the stigma that I'm actually looking forward to break as we're going forward is fat phobia. I live and exist in a larger body. And as much as I would like to say, oh, I want to lose weight. I mean, I want to be a little thinner, but at the end of the day, I still want to exist and live in a larger or a thicker body, because
just because you want to lose weight doesn't mean that you want to be. I don't want to be skinny. And right. I'm currently on a diet. I lost 17 pounds. Shout out to me. But I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to be skinny. I just want to be healthy. I'm a 37-year-old woman. Like, I need to be. My health is important. So I can't walk around eating black eyed pea and green plates every fucking day.
Even though it's good.
It is good with a little oxtail and gravy.
The green.
Oh my God.
They are good. We want to. I get that, but I definitely want to break a lot going forward as it relates to fat phobia, right? And so I'm definitely looking forward to bringing back the Body Beautiful. A lot of y'all spoke about it, but I'm definitely looking forward to bringing that back in some new arenas as it relates to people living in larger bodies, people facing disability, people facing housing insecurity. I'm definitely looking forward in bringing that back and addressing some more phobias and stigmas like head on, specifically fat phobia. And no shade, but me, my family members, and a lot of my friends, most of us live in fat bodies, and I have skinny friends who wish they had fat bodies. So
be steady taking weight gain pills, baby.
So I'm definitely looking to look forward to breaking some fat phobia. And so, you know, we all have people in our comments and things like that. So if anybody shared anything in your comments about like what they're looking to break, or if you have a stigma that you're looking to break going forward, you know, share it with us. We would love to learn more about it. And I feel like just because we need to do it, happy anniversary.
I was waiting.
So the code word is anniversary. Anytime somebody comment anniversary or said, we'll take a shot. I know y'all want me to say it. I just said it 3 times.
And so you're aware, I'm not drinking.
All right. Take it to the heat.
All right, dry the boat.
Okay.
I don't want to drive no boats.
I'll probably later tonight. Make sure I'm still alive.
I see the comment.
So did anybody see anything in the comments they wanted to share, or if anybody else have anything they want to share about maybe stigma that you have faced, or stigma that you think are prevalent in the community in ways that we can address them? Anybody want to share?
I think I have some throughout my life. And basically what Adonis was saying, by me being a male, I've been in touch with my heart, and I'm a caring person. So that's always getting notified as being weak. And so that makes people feel like I'm less than a man. I've been told that I'm a waste of a man. I've been told that you'll never be strong enough. I've been told that I see why this is the way that you are, and all those types of things. And I feel like those all hindered me from wanting to express myself as an individual. And I feel like as a public, men and women, we all do that, but especially men, because we have been taught from birth not to show any type of weakness. But vulnerability allows you to have courage. And I feel like we need to break that.
I agree.
I agree.
And I massively like.
Go ahead, Kimmy, what you say?
I was raised in a household with my grandmother. You know, old school women, you're not supposed to like be super emotional. So she was a strong woman, but I never saw her cry. So I dealt with a lot growing up and like actually coming into who I am today because I didn't know how to show emotion. I was scared to actually be vulnerable in front of people. And here I stand today, baby. I'll break down crying in front of anybody. I'm a big ass crybaby, and that's just what it is. If I feel it, I'm going to say it, or you're going to see it.
Okay, come on now. Okay. And I just want to affirm you guys and everybody on here by saying, like, we all are enough. You guys are enough. You know, never let anybody devalue or allow another person to put stock in you that you didn't ask for. That, like, you guys are enough. We are enough. We are worthy of love and praise and the space that we occupy. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. So how are you looking? How are you guys looking to be a better support to your community in the coming years? What things are you guys looking to do or change? Or are you having the works? How are you looking to be a better support in your community? So I won't forget them this time.
Thank you. You remembered me. Honestly, just being that voice that I think that I would need in different communities, or like by sitting there listening. Because one thing that I dislike is for someone to tell me what's best for me that hasn't lived my experience, that hasn't been familiar with my experience. So I definitely try to show up for people who are often either voiceless or they don't have the opportunity or the privilege sometimes to say certain things. Because I can also say with us working in public health and then working in infectious disease, dealing with HIV, many people who work within this field, we are subjected to a lot of things and a lot of other people's things. So we don't have too many people that sometimes may not have the tenure or even the quote unquote, trying to be PC here. And I try. I thought
y'all were supposed to be candid, say how you feel.
I know, but I can't beg by the gospel. So just making sure that I'm able to be, being able to utilize whatever platform I have, whatever leverage that I have, whatever connection that I have with people to make sure that we stand up for the people that need to be stood up for. Because oftentimes, you know, a lot of us are looked over just because, you know, you're supposed to wear your stripes as wounds and badges of honors. And times we need to tend to those wounds. So that's definitely why I plan on doing it.
Okay. Come on, Kim, before you have to do something else, you know.
Don't start, okay? We are looking to partner with more ground root organizations as well as those larger organizations, so we can create small networks that will actually connect us to large networks, so we can reach the people that actually need the help, as opposed to those that will freely come to us. As well as I'm switching industries. Personally, I'm looking to switch industries. So.
Okay. Byron.
Okay, so well, of course, you know me. I'm not the, I personally am not the person to get into like starting initiatives. I am a big fan of like just pushing already working machines. That's just kind of my stance in the fight. So I guess the thing I've been really big on is just educating myself on different things that are already having momentum. Because I've noticed that in the field, like a lot of people do a lot of like, and me and Burns talked about this, a lot of that rolling over each other, kind of, we all think in the same fields and the same mindsets, work with the same groups of people. We all have very similar ideas to each other. So we end up doing the same similar things and pushing the same machine in 1,000 different directions. So my goal is, I guess, kind of to find like more consolidated I guess missions and just kind of just get into those and help push them forward and make those successful. It's like, stuff like the Mahogany Project and what they're doing. Stuff like that. That was a commercial break, so I'm gonna send you my invoice. But that was it.
That was advertising we did not ask for. We are not paying for that, baby. You acting like Petey Pablo and Seagram's Geek Dream. No. We could. But if there are people out there who want to donate, there is a little button at the bottom. You can drop a coin. We will appreciate it. It's down there. Come on, Marnina.
I know as folks that work in the HIV industry, and I like to call it AIDS Inc., we like to silo ourselves and we like to work for our different organizations and just stay doing HIV work. But this year, I want to be extremely intentional about being intersectional with my work. So not just talking about HIV stigma, but talking about all those stigmas that I talked about earlier, but also doing a lot of grassroots organizing. There's so much in Texas that we don't do. And I've done a lot of national work, but I have not done no work at home. And I think if you're not working at home, then what are you doing? And so instead of me focusing so much on the national work, I really want to focus at home and really get to know the leaders that are here in the community. Not only the leaders, but the people that are making the decisions for us. Those the congressmen, the senators here. I really want to start doing some real work around decriminalizing a lot of issues, from marijuana all the way down to HIV criminalization. So that's going to be my main focus, is political engagement and grassroots organizing.
Okay. So now we're going to line to Jordan.
I'm going to be getting in the car and finding Marnita because I'm trying to get on them hills. That's what I'm trying to do. Everybody, some people don't really know me too much in the community, but I'm not new to the community. I'm just new to the field and the work. And so my goal is to allow myself to continuously be a tool. That's really what I want to do. I want to be able to be accessible as possible for people, because I've always been a person that people can come to and relay their information to, and I can kind of help them navigate them. So I'm gonna continue to be that vessel. But as I move forward, I want to do more work and learn in my city, learn in my town, learn in my state, because this is my home, this is my roots. So I feel like there's so much in Texas that could be done that we aren't doing. And I'm always thinking about going national, going different places like Puerto Rico, going to Brazil. That's fine and all, but then what am I doing when I come back home? So that's where I really want to focus on. So Marnita, I'm popping in the car. I'll roll.
No, for real. I'm gonna hit you up so we can link up and do a lot of grassroots work, because there's a lot of work here to be done. And we're gonna link up with Vanita and see what she got popping. We're gonna get this thing rolling. For real. I'm so excited.
Sign me up. And you know what, guys, and then it's come up a couple of times, and I've always inquired, because I can own my own stuff, that it's always so driven working in this field, as Marnita said, AZing, is this always geared towards men. And I have conversations with some of my female identifying friends that there's, honestly, I always see a deficit for any initiatives dealing with lesbian health. So I would love to really see more of that and try to be involved as much as possible of that. We did receive a grant, the State African American Task Force called You Grow Girl. It was an idea that I had as well as other members. And to have you guys can find out more information about it, but it's geared specifically towards women. And I definitely want to also make sure that I'm doing my part to provide those services to women, because I had thought that all women, I didn't find this out till last year, all got pap smears and all that. I didn't know it wasn't like a necessity or a must that all of them basically did. And then I was confused. So even getting that information, because you have people who do women's wellness checks or just those checks for free. So definitely trying to do my part and getting that information out and about.
It's just like all women don't have sorry, y'all, and we're gonna go to Darian and Mookie, but all women don't have access to the mammograms as well. That's a huge component of that as well. And even when you go, even in that too, going deep to say a lot of Black trans women do not have access to mammograms, and a lot of them have foreign matter put in their bodies, and so it's an increased interest for them to get mammograms, because the only thing that you really need to get breast cancer is breast tissue, and we all have breast tissue. So Darian.
One thing that within the next year, I just want to be able to, I think I've done like a lot of work on learning who I am and experiencing the world like with my new identities, but I think I need to be able to be a voice for who I am as well. And so I want to just be more active in the community and also like tell my story and tell the things that I've learned, because I don't think it's, I think we have to think about the community, and me just saving myself isn't enough. And so I want to be able to save other people as well and help them out as well.
Okay. Mookie.
Well, for me, like, music is my first love, so I want to get back to making music, and not just music, but with a message. Like, it's saying something, but it's still jamming. So that's like one of my main focuses right now. But then too, like, I want to organize a trash cleanup, because I'm real passionate about the environment. Like, Earth Day just passed, and I live in a Black neighborhood, but I'm watching it being regentrified before my eyes. And it's like, once the white people move in, that's when stuff get nice. And I just feel like as Black people, we can have nice things too. And a lot of us want nice things and want a nice neighborhood, contrary to what people may think. So I want to organize a trash cleanup and you know, show that in our neighborhoods we do care, and we are taking those strides to clean up our own neighborhoods. We're not waiting on anybody. We're not waiting on the white people to move in and make it nice. We have nice things as well. So that's really on my heart right now to do.
Come on, make sure you get
That's what's up.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You know, Lennox had a talk earlier today about looking into starting a community garden.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, like growing food, like a garden. That's dope.
And shout out to Atlantis. That's my mom, y'all. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. You know what,
Hey,
y'all, not to cut y'all off, but I also, and I'm speaking from a place of privilege, I did not know that, because we were doing something for Earth Day last year with the organization I used to work for, and I did not know, because they do have a school, that a lot of Black kids, Black and brown kids, were not taught about recycling. And I remember in school, and I remember me growing up, but my experience is different because I was raised in Alief and Katy. So that was just something that we did. So I was just assuming, hey, well, let's tell them about, let's do a recycling tent. They say, these kids don't know what recycling is. I'm like, come on, how did they not know? And then lo and behold, they showed that these kids did not know. So definitely doing that part about just even trying to educate them on that.
Exactly.
A lot of inner city schools don't even have art programs. So of course they're not being taught about stuff like recycling, because it's not from an educational standpoint.
Wow.
Yeah, they really not being taught about recycling, like littering. Like, they just, if they done with something, they just throw it on the ground. Like, it's not in them to know to put it in the trash can. Like, and things we take for granted, like it's just common sense, you put in the trash can, but everybody is not raised to know that, or, you know, have that exposure to know that that's the proper thing to do. So
Just like when I was in high school, we had agriculture and home economic classes. A lot of those things were removed after I graduated, both home economics and agriculture.
I mean, I was in a band, so I was a band geek, so that wasn't something that I was interested in. And I honestly think that like now gardening and all of that stuff is like, it's therapeutic for me. But I feel like if I would have been exposed to it more as a kid, it would have probably happened a little bit faster. And I grew up in Third Ward, so I was in.
So a lot of people don't know this, and I'm excited to share. I have been named an affiliate of Black AIDS Institute. And so what it means is probably coming this fall, I will be looking at starting a B10 chapter here in Houston. That will be a collaborative chapter through the Mahogany Project with Black AIDS Institute. So that's one thing that I'm looking to do this fall. The Mahogany Project also is starting a project. So we joined the Learn Collaborative through University of Houston, Trauma Informed Advocacy. So we're now pushing an advocacy project that you guys will learn about very, very soon. Entitled I Am My Sibling's Keeper. And it's to target voter suppression faced by trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people, as well as encouraging Black LGBT people to open the doors and being counted for the census. And right now we don't know what that's gonna look like because of COVID-19. So it may not be people come to your doors this year to do the census. So that may require you to get online and do the census and be counted, because the reality is, like you said, Mookie, we talk about gentrification and we talked about, a lot of the programs that inner city schools and things like that don't have, but the U.S. Census is a huge part of having, stable communities for Black and brown people. And being counted is part of making sure that we get the money for the resources that we need to have it in our community. It's just essential. So we're going to be pushing a program entitled I Am My Sibling's Keeper, focusing on voter suppression targeted by TGNC people and census engagement. So I'm excited about that. And and you and Marnita talked about getting cannabis and things like that legalized. What a lot of people don't know is in 2016, I moved to Las Vegas to actually work on the Hillary Clinton campaign. And I was employed by Planned Parenthood, PPFA. I also worked for a PAC and a super PAC. The super PAC was called Immigrant Voters Win. And we helped get Catherine Cortez Matos elected in the U.S. Senate, as well as get marijuana legalized in the state of Nevada. So I have experience in those things, right? So those are some things that I would love to start working on locally, because I have knowledge as it pertains to those things. I have a skill set as it relates to tackling and targeting those issues. So those are definitely some things that I'm looking forward to doing as well.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, y'all. So I set up a little game for us to play. And the game we're going to play it via Kahoot. So in order for you to play the game, you would need another device to play it on, whether it is a computer, whether it is a phone or an iPad, you will need another device to play it on. So when we go to this screen, we'll have room for 50 people, okay, to join and play the game. So that means you do not have to be on the live with us to play the game. I'm going to share the screen. You'll be able to see the questions on the screen, and you'll be able to answer the questions on your phone. So I'm gonna give people time to go grab extra devices if there's things that they need to do. But we're going to make sure that we do that. And I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody said the code word.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody said the code word.
You're just trying to make us get drunk. Fuck you, girl.
Do I need to play that anniversary song just so?
Why would you do that?
Oh, so now gotta take a shot. So come on.
Ooh.
Y'all know I'm gonna be on these people clock drunk like this.
It's a party. Act like you know.
Okay, y'all. Oh, somebody said Verdi's for president. I can tell you right now, I'll be better than Joe as president. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so open.
You got my vote.
I'll be better than Joe and the Cheeto Man, baby.
I vote for y'all. Be first one there.
So we're going to play the classic way. So it's going to be 101. And I'm just to share the screen with you guys. Okay. I'm going to turn it down first. Because I hate that little noise.
Give us time to download and open it. On our second.
No, I'm gonna
I'm
get
not-
all you cool cats and kittens. So this is what you want to do. You want to go to www.kahoot.it.com in your browser, or if you have the app, you just want to type where it says PIN, and you want to enter this PIN number, which is 8219227. And those of you who are out there,
10 minutes.
Facebook, Twitter land, join us. All you have to do is go to the number above, which is the 8219227, and you can join in the game. It's going to ask you to create a name. You create a name, and you can join. Okay, it's going to be fun. It's just basic trivia about the Mahogany Project, and it's just a great time. So y'all come on, join in. Y'all know y'all want to anyway. I'm not gonna play because I made the Kahoot, and of course I know all of the answers, and of course that would not be fair. So why? I'm gonna take a minute out to the restroom. So if you guys need to take a restroom,
Not Big Daddy.
Come on, Big Daddy.
if not,
In all caps.
who is Big Daddy?
Big Daddy.
Darian.
That is not me.
Oh my goodness. But also, if
I'm Big
you you want to take this time to donate while we are getting up, get set up, you can donate below. You can also donate via Cash App. Our Cash App is tmp.in. Well, it's TMPINC. That's TMPINC. You can donate to us on Cash App, or you can go to the Mahogany Project page, go to About Me, click on the link tree. You can donate under there. I would love if we can get 5 people who could become monthly donors at a minimum of $30. So while everybody gets set up for the game, I'm gonna run out for a moment. I'll be back.
He going to go smoke that devil's lettuce. Who the hell is Big Daddy, y'all? Oh, Big Daddy not on there. No.
I need to put a wrong name just in case I make a mistake.
This little bit is really about, or either I'm drunk.
It reminds me of the Wii game.
82. 19. 22-7. Somebody said Carol Baskin Jr.
Carol Bass.
Who is Carol Baskin Jr.?
That's me. I really hate Carol. It's really for Carol, but I think Carol the kid.
Right. Lock her up.
Good
Lock
sis.
her up.
I honestly feel like she doing what everybody want to do to their lovers. Like, kill their motherfucking ass when they do something.
I just don't like that Carol not in prison with Joe. That's all I'm saying. She needs to be in jail.
Well, catch her. He got caught.
Indeed.
If I kill somebody, I ain't gonna get caught either.
Joe had a lot going on, but it's still free, Joe. Free until I see him.
Yeah, I'm free, Joe. I'm free, Joe Exotic too.
Joe.
Okay, so I want y'all to know, we're gonna get it started in just a second. Here's some things that you should know about the game. Okay, There's roughly about 10 questions. Each question is worth 1,000 points.
Okay.
To get the total of the 1,000 points, you have to answer the questions quickly. You only have about 10 seconds to answer each question. But also, it also depends upon when you answer the questions, tells you how many points you can get. And someone said in the comments, yes, anyone can play, Lisa. All you have to do is go to the www.kahoot.it.com, type in the code at the top, and you can go ahead and play. We're going to give you a couple minutes to log on, just in case you want to play. So it's 7:51 right now. We'll start the game at 7:53. Please go ahead and log on if you definitely want to go ahead and play. And all you have to do is go to www.kahoot.com, type in the code, which is the 821927, and you can join in the game. Yeah, who is Big Daddy? I feel very uncomfortable.
Oh, girl, that's your speed.
You say what?
Oh, that's your speed. So I thought that's what you were about to say.
Not that's my speed.
I thought that was your just, sis. That's what I thought you were about to say.
We'll talk about this offline.
Oh, so you said we were gonna be candid now. That's what you said.
Yeah, that is what you said.
You don't want to tell us, you don't like to call people Big Daddy?
Ooh.
Talk about it.
I love a good Big Daddy.
That's another program.
Barry,
that's
don't
another
do
program. Tell them about it, sis. Talk about it, bitch. That's what we need to talk about.
So if you was kicked off, go ahead and join back on, Lisa. You can join back on. We have room for up to 50 people. It shouldn't be kicking people off. I'm not sure why it's dropping, but you still got a little while to join on.
That bitch had changed the subject on me. I still want to talk about Big Daddy.
What about Big Daddy? So why the
Do
girls
you like to
log
call
on,
people
talk
Big
about
Daddy?
Come on. What you got to say?
When the last time you called somebody Big Daddy, bitch?
When my great grandfather died.
I do not like you.
and honestly, that's the real reason why I picked the name Big Daddy. I'm just manifesting. That's the name of my grandkids to call me, so I'm just manifesting.
Yeah, my great grandfather, we called him Big Daddy, but he didn't have no legs and he was blind.
I just like how Big Daddy right under Crimson though, but I'm gonna let that go.
Well, I'm just not ever gonna be Big Daddy anymore because you just fucked all that up for me.
You asked the question, then was dissatisfied with the answer you got.
That's not the answer that I was expecting.
See, kick me out.
Okay, so Jordan, you must have been Big Daddy then.
No, that was join back.
Okay.
It's
my best to be teachable as possible.
Okay.
I'm about to come up with Arby's or something.
Come on, we're gonna kick somebody else.
Arby's. They do got good fries though.
Arby's. So y'all the people keeping Arby's.
Y'all the people that
I was trying to find out who it was.
I just not the fries. I don't like the sandwiches.
That's what I'm saying. You need two devices. I don't think if you on the same device, it's gonna let you switch back and forth. So if you're somebody who's using the same device to play the game and trying to watch the live, you may be the reason why you experiencing the drop because it may not allow you to do both of those things simultaneously.
So I got a second device that I'm using.
All right. So we got 9 people on. I'm gonna go ahead and start it while we have 9 people. So here we go. Are you ready?
Mine is still showing this.
What's the Mahogany Project motto? Was the first question.
It's not letting me go.
What's the question? What's the question?
So before we move on, okay, is it what's not showing on your phone, Adonis?
Because this all it, look, this is just showing.
This
Show shapes.
Yeah, so the shapes correspond with the answer choice.
The answers
So you have to look at the screen. This is why you have to have 2 devices. Because you have to
Okay, now see when I refreshed it, man.
And then your phone will act, or the other device that you use will act as the answer choice selection. So you definitely only need 2 devices, okay?
Can we go big?
You cannot
Wait.
go
Can
Yeah,
we start over?
already in front of you. You cannot go bad.
Now that I know
Wait, where the
answer,
question at?
start over.
The question on here?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
question is going to be on here, and your phone is going to
Big. Oh, okay.
like the selection pad.
I'm
Okay.
looking at the phone.
Okay.
Oh, I
And
don't
I
like
point out, so we all have to take a shot because the name of the first the name of the thing was Mahogany Project Anniversary. So we all have to take a shot.
You ready?
it's time to eat.
Girl,
Getting out
fuck
of
you.
hand.
I'm not about to be a people job like this. Come out.
It's okay. I'll come over and help you do your work.
No, ma'am.
I
No,
might do it.
as soon as they do something, I'm gonna be there cuss their ass out. No.
So she's trying to be unemployed. That don't have nothing to do with me.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all have to do with me.
I like how it said we believe in you.
So remember, we about to move on. Look at the screen. Your phone is gonna act at the selection pad. Y'all ready? So, moving on. What inspired the Mahogany Project's logo?
It's not letting me pick nothing.
Boom. Period. Periana. No, I got it wrong, but still I was confident in it.
But
Oh, so who
Vern,
picked
can
up
you
Right. This
Who
ain't
picked
right.
change the time?
I got it right. That was your boy. Beauty and the
Right.
Beast.
right? My favorite. So, y'all, my favorite movie is The Beauty and the Beast.
You like the animated one or the live
I
action?
prefer the animated one.
Really? Okay.
And if you notice, the carnation in the Mahogany
Yep.
that
Yeah.
looks like the rose.
That's what. Yep. That's what made me pick it. Shout out to my girl for making me watch all these Disney movies.
Who picked the Atlantis?
Who said that?
Somebody picked Atlantis as the answer choice. Who picked Atlantis?
I did, because I was like, let me figure out something. I said she might have said something in your ear here and there.
I actually didn't meet Atlantis until actually after I started the Mahogany Project.
Okay.
Who picked Balboa Park?
Oh, you got the answer for your answer.
I think that was my answer. I think.
I
So
wouldn't even know my answer. I just picked anything.
although I love Balboa Park, and if you have never been to Balboa Park, Balboa Park has a rose garden and they also have a cactus garden.
Okay, dope.
I pretty much know why a lot of y'all pick summers in Denver. Because I
Because you go to damn Denver every summer.
I go to Denver all the time. It's my favorite.
It's that Colfax that got us hooked.
Yeah.
Me.
That's how I feel about Colfax. It ain't no facts like Colfax.
Ain't no facts like Colfax. Period.
Period. Okay, so next question, people.
Better get it together.
So who's in the lead? Okay, Mookie.
Hey.
Question number 3, y'all.
It's a conspiracy.
You should not be a multi-selection question. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell y'all one of the answers. One of the answers is body glue.
Fine, I'm able to play.
Damn.
What? So this is gonna piss me off because by the time I get to the situation where I can hit enter, it's saying your time is up. Bitch, I'm
Yeah, mine too. You
Mine
know, I
so
already know who it is.
We got 2 seconds.
I had to hop off my Wi-Fi.
I don't know what to say. Who y'all provider?
I got, and I know.
I don't know.
This game
why it
rigged.
messed up. So I guess it did something for in the selection process. But our first ally of the year was Body Buoys, and I talked about this on one of my lives. I love the company Body Buoys. Shout out to Krista Sam. She's always supportive of the Mahogany Project, SOSU. She always donate bath bombs and shower fees to our events and things like that. So we greatly appreciate her and all the support that she provides to us. Okay, so
No.
question for y'all.
Well, I said I know this. I think I know this if I don't know nothing else. Periana. Period. If I don't know nothing else.
Period.
If I don't know nothing else.
Yeah, I got that one right.
If I don't know nothing else, I know this one.
I'm happy to be on the board. I'm just happy to be on the board.
The name of our body stigma campaign is The Body Beautiful, y'all. So if you have not,
I'm ran out of time on that one.
me and Marnina are some of the models for that campaign. If you look for the models that we started back up, reach out to us.
Reach out. I'm ready.
Okay, who in the lead?
Ooh.
Whose name is Carol Vasquez Jr.?
And me,
Oh,
and
yeah.
me. Even though it's free show, you know.
I'm done. Okay, next question, y'all.
Oh,
What's our Twitter handle?
nuh-uh. This cheating.
I ain't get a chance to enter, man.
Oh,
Fuck.
it
You
let
ain't
me
even let me.
answer.
All right, man.
It let me answer.
Donna's line. He just don't want to lose.
You already know. I already know. I already know.
Not
Majority
let
is.
me touch this lash. Let me tell y'all something. This lash right here on this left side is about to be on this keyboard.
Listen, look at that mine. It's still processing. I think this is a scheme that's hard to set up.
Oh, to tell Phaedra to come, to tell Kendra to come to us with the bullshit.
Ooh, Vernon, don't make me shoot my arrow, sister kid. Don't. Oh my God.
Y'all, lash is ruining my life.
Okay, so now that y'all got the handle, make sure y'all follow us on Twitter.
Wow.
Oh, Darren, you in the lead by 5 points.
Come on, Darian.
It's a
I see you.
Okay.
I'm coming for you, Darian. I'm coming.
Chill out. Chill out.
Our first spoken word event was entitled. Yeah, so if you get this wrong, get your own foul.
Hey, I was going.
Oh. I don't want to play.
I got it.
Just gotta.
I don't want to play no.
I don't want to play because see, I don't.
This ain't right.
Every time black people get to lose and they say they don't want to play.
We should have got like a study guide or something. What a study guide is.
For real. Even Jeopardy, they get a study guide first before they play.
Who told you that? Because I watch Jeopardy every day. Jeopardy is my daily self-care. Who told you they get a study guide?
I mean, they study. They don't get a study guide, but they do like read.
You get a study for this? You had 3 years.
You're right. You're right.
You had 3 whole years to study. Okay, come on, Nina, babe. You got the fire, sis. That means that you know the questions right off, the answers to the questions right off the bat.
Period.
Period.
Wow.
Okay. What was the theme for 2019's Black Trans Empowerment? Now, 2 of y'all got awards during this week.
Wow.
Oh no.
Wow.
I'm just glad to get some points on
Don't
board.
come for me.
I just feel like, you know, in all fairness, this don't even be in my state, so I feel like I want to redo.
Everything I do. You keep up everything I do. I call you when I'm right there. You be like, okay, Sister K, what you working on now? What the Mahogany
Okay, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I want to redo.
We just to laugh her off.
I like you a lot.
Somebody said anniversary yet or what? Like, what's up? Because at this point,
Oh my God.
is it? Because maybe if I get everybody else drunk, I get a better chance at winning. I don't know.
I mean, some of us think better under influence, though.
Okay. Next question. Nina's still in the lead.
Oh, I done dropped down.
First blog was entitled. That was supposed to say entitled. Y'all. That was a typo. Forgive my.
Oh, that's hard. Oh.
Her first blog was entitled.
Girl, damn it.
No.
Nobody picked this
I was gonna say that.
Her first blog was actually called Untitled.
Wow.
None of us got it right.
Happy anniversary, guys.
Oh, shot.
It's really upsetting me
And my home girl.
because I feel like I'm over this.
Okay, I think we only got one or two questions. Two questions left. How many countries did we get at International Condom Day? I post this on, and some of y'all have. I post this on Facebook and everything.
Oh my God, how am I supposed to know?
Yes,
I got
okay.
Did
Okay.
it
Whew.
I picked the biggest number because I know my sister never doing work.
Period.
And then
Period.
February 13th, we passed out 6,345 condoms.
That's amazing.
I just need mine to work because I was out there like all these questions. I'm getting sabotaged.
Who's telling a lie?
All right. So this is the last question, y'all. So be ready, be quick. You only got 10 seconds. Okay.
Them shots sound good.
Oh, who came for my
Damn! The last question is worth 1,000 points. Okay. So if you get it right as soon as they come on, that's 1,000 points. Okay.
Okay, all right, I'm ready.
So
Shit.
it's a poll.
Oh, that's a matter.
Easily.
I didn't watch it.
And if I don't get this,
I
I'm
know
logging
that.
off. If I don't get that's it.
Right.
Did I answer fast enough?
Yeah, Bass.
That fucking
I don't feel like she killed him, but I know you think she killed him, so I'm gonna select yes.
Tell us why she didn't kill him if you don't think she killed him.
That man.
She killed it, man.
He ran
She
off.
ain't kill him.
She
Tell us
assisted
why
a lot.
she didn't kill him. Or
He
tell us
over
why
there.
you think she
He over
didn't
there
kill him.
with his other bitches.
Yeah, he ran
You know
off.
he
He
had
had
that other
another
wife.
woman out there. Yeah,
Yeah, he over there with her. See, you agree
Possible.
with me, right, bro?
it's possible.
See? Okay,
You know
thank
what?
you.
You're right. I agree with you. She didn't kill him.
Alright.
The lion
Thank you.
killed him, but she fed
Well, right,
him
right.
food. Cat.
Yeah,
Big.
I'm gonna go as far as to say it wasn't even the lion or the tiger. It was the sardine oil.
It was a
Sardine on they rubbed off.
Okay, that killed. Okay, it was the sardine oil. Mama said, because if I would have wanted to kill him, I would have put a little sardine oil.
Right.
He was very O.J. Simpson about it. Okay,
very much so bad.
She gonna come off with a book
Unapologetic.
if I would have killed on.
I want to be very clear.
I would have killed him. This is how I would have done it.
Carol, but Carol killed Dunn. She not gonna put on my leg and tell me it's rain.
No, sis. How can you fuck with Carolyn? She had them cats drinking out of them boxes like that. No, you can't fool with
Sorry,
that. She's
don't
not
do-
right.
Don't do
Them
this.
cats was like this, sis, drinking out.
Had a head through the hole.
Them boxes was like that, sis, just like this.
Yeah, she's savage. She's savage for real.
And she said, the lady said, "Oh yeah, I've been volunteering here for 5 years. I come back every year just to pet the cats."
Sis, when was she paying them people? That's what I want to know.
Nothing. At least at Joe's, they got $150,
They was getting paid at least.
and they got to eat off the meat truck.
Carol gangster. She a boss.
Wow.
What that say? Tom? What that say?
Carol Baskets Jr. got third place. Second place was Nina Bay, and first place was. Honorable mentions go to Mookie and Jordan. Mookie got fourth place. Jordan got fifth place.
All right, I'm still on the board. That's
Take it. I take it. Man of the year, take it.
But don't that say anniversary of time?
It was
Anniversary. Y'all ain't
I'm
got.
about to be out of liquor.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I gotta fix how to get the Zoom.
Why you playing? My cup empty over here.
I don't know. I want to do another game. That's it. That's how I feel.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
I only made one game, so here's the thing: if one of y'all
We
got
want
a
a
game
rematch.
to play, I'll put y'all in charge of playing the game.
Okay. We can do that again. It's fun.
Y'all gonna play the game again? Y'all already know the answer.
I think so, but look, alcohol later, I might not get it fast enough.
And so, the game back. I run the game back.
Don't do that because I'm gonna embarrass myself because I'm still gonna be 5th place.
So I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Because Carol Baskin was gonna come on top again.
Right.
And again, this time, she was gonna come out.
The people
Okay,
that won don't want a rematch.
Killed her husband for sure. Tiger food. Okay? That was a little.
You got some competitive people on here.
Baby, that's it. So she sprinkled that sardine oil on that man. Said, here, kitty, kitty. That's why y'all named the song, Hey, Kitty, Kitty.
But you could have lightly missed his clothes once you told him to go out to the field. Lightly missed it. That's all they needed.
Mama, look, let me tell you something. Jesus Christ himself would have to get off the cross. Walk across water, okay? Part the Red Sea to tell me Carol Baskins didn't kill that man, okay?
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna even stretch it as far as say she the one that set the crocodiles on fire. I'm gonna take it a step further and go out there and say that.
Now, sis, I was with you, but I'm gonna say I think Joe boiled his own crocodiles. I think
In a fury, what he say? In a fiery, what he say? In
a towering inferno.
Now, sis, that's a powerful statement.
In a towering inferno, he wanted y'all to know how bad it was. It was a towering inferno.
I like how he said he a gay, gun-toting, homosexual.
Oh, who has a bitch? Don't forget the part about he had
husbands.
When Joe told them people he was gonna turn it into a small Waco, I said, "Yeah, Joe with the shit." You're not even supposed to reference that kind of thing. I said he don't care. He's reckless.
He letting them know y'all don't come over here with all that bull coming. Y'all do what y'all want me to come over here. Think about
But they was in Arkansas. They was in Oklahoma.
Hey, Ramadan, no cussing.
right.
I got you.
I'm about to get to my top shelf.
I'm not sure who were the two people who have donated to our cause, but I would like to definitely say thank you to both of you guys. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I just say one of them was Kel Martin, so shout out to Kel. And I can't see who the other person was, but thank you so much for the donation. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, but she killed that man, y'all. She killed her husband, whacked him.
R.I.P.
Tigers, they be snacking. Carol Baskins, okay?
Can we just say that Carol Baskin was a bad bitch that eat her rice and cabbage though?
I'm still telling Carol Baskins because she did kill her husband and got away with it.
I'm with you when you're right.
And she collected the millions.
Okay.
Okay, even though she rewrote that man will to say if he disappeared, she got all his money.
I mean, you know.
But I have to say, she is most sickening to me, though. I have to give her props because through all this scandal, that lady still get on the camera and smile and say, "Hey, all my cool cats and kittens," and come off as the sweetest little lady. She just so sweet. You never know she got her husband killed.
Thanks.
One of the floral headbands. So if y'all out there somewhere and y'all see one of them floral headbands, please give me one.
We're gonna make you one.
Beg of you.
Right.
See the little floral headband.
Yes, get you one of them. Get you on a bike. It just
I was about to say in a bike. I'm sure when I get one, I'm gonna go on a stroll on a bike.
In a leopard, the tiger outfit. We gonna lace you up.
For sure.
Well,
Halloween, I'm gonna be Carol Baskins and he gonna be Joe.
Oh, you better come in. Okay, so you better dress as Carol when she went to court. I need that Carol.
I'm just looking for a leopard moo at this point.
Yeah.
Carol Baskins. I already got me some little leopard slip-ons.
I'm going far. You going far. Going way at this point.
I'm getting me a little blonde wig. I'm gonna tease it out a little bit so the hair look a little stringy.
Yep.
Like I'm at my wit's end, bitch.
Ooh, that's it.
You got to spray it with some pump it up and then throw it in the dryer.
I'm at my wit's end, like I'm not.
You gotta have it at its wit's end.
I'm this close to snapping, bitch. Okay, I'm this close.
This close to feed your ass to a tiger.
I'm so proud of you.
I got the sardine all in the back. Okay, pull it out.
Oh, I can't stand you.
This close. It's this close to snapping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys watch Little Fires Everywhere?
Yep. I haven't seen the newest one, so don't spoil it. No spoilers.
You have to watch this latest episode. It is like,
Yeah. I
I don't
haven't
like
seen
that.
that one
All
yet.
I'm gonna say.
I love how it ended. I love how it ended, but then I don't, because this is a mini series and there will not be a season 2 to Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh, so it's over.
Right,
Yeah.
and it ends very like.
Ooh, like really? Like,
That's it, really?
ooh, I gotta watch it. I'm
It's
about to
very
watch it.
heavy too. The way it is very heavy. So don't watch it. We don't make you take these shots and stuff. Don't watch it now.
Yeah, because I'm
You don't want to be crying.
yeah. I start a 5.
Speaking of crying, sis, I watched that thing. So I was telling you about them little interviews on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I got into them series, Sister Cat. That's another thing. Don't watch. It'll take you through there. Like it's like,
I ain't got nothing to do this weekend. I might want to go through.
Oh, you're gonna be catching hell living there.
Leave me alone.
Cause Sister Cat is so.
We reserve this for me and you.
Wait, I want to know what is it? What y'all watching?
It's these so basically it's this man who he did like a whole bunch of interviews out in California next to Skid Row, and he has like a whole bunch of different videos interviewing different kinds of people.
I'm gonna be crying. What's that, y'all?
It's some of them are like inspiring, like okay, some of them, they'll take you through there. Like
Amanda had took me through, and I couldn't watch anymore.
It's the older
Amanda.
It's an older lady, a special needs older lady on there, and that is the one that had me crying. Like I literally started crying. It turned off. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Well, I talked about earlier, y'all. I just finished the Innocence Files on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all watched that, but it basically talk about a lot of people who, and most of them were Black men, who were incarcerated, and a lot of them spent like at least 12 years on death row for crimes that they did not commit.
I saw the first episode with the man and the baby.
Go to episode 8. Episode 8 specifically takes place here in Houston.
Wow.
It takes place in South Park, and at the time that it took place in South Park, I actually lived in South Park. And I was like, I can remember this whole thing transpiring as a young child.
Well, what was the crime? That's what happened.
So there was a crime. So you probably remember this. In the 90s, there was a lady named Alfreda, and she was killed at the Ace check cashing place. She had just returned to work from maternity leave from having a young child. I think it was her first day back at the job, and some guys went to rob the Ace check cashing place off of 610 near Crestmont, and they end up going in there and killing the lady. But one guy in particular who was charged with the crime, he actually had nothing to do with it. And it talks about how in the 90s, Texas had this thing into play where judges could pick a close friend or somebody they knew to be a part of the jury and act on their behalf as a part of the jury. It was called Pick a Pal. And most of the time when judges would pick somebody, they would pick somebody who was a former police officer or a former DA or a former judge to help increasing that person's crime or getting them convicted. And so it talked about how they used that to get the man convicted, intimidate the man's girlfriend at the time. The girlfriend sent her to jail for 9 months, took her kids and everything just so they could use her as a fund to convict the other man who had nothing to do with the crime.
That's just scary.
That's foolish.
And so it's called The Innocence File. It's episode 8, and you can check it out on Netflix.
And you said that's Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's really good, and I like how very real the interviews are, because I feel like a lot of times those stories are told from the sugar-coated, we messed up perspective, and I like that this one gets into these were mistakes that were made, and some of them still weren't to this day aren't corrected. Some of them people are still sitting in jail. It's very real.
I mean, I've been forced to watch television due to boredom with this whole COVID-19 thing, but I read a lot.
I know you, and I know me and you talked about this, but I think this is definitely a good thing for you to watch.
I'm gonna watch.
How we are trying to like move things forward in the community. I think it's a great watch. And it shows like how us as Black people, and particularly Black men, were just used as pawns for people to get ahead, particularly white people in criminal justice. And I hate to ruin it for y'all, but one of the men in episode 1, in the first 2 episodes, because episode 1 and 2 are one whole, issue. One of the men end up dying in like 2018 or something like that, and he was still trying to like clear his name from a crime when he was like 30, and he was like 70 when he died.
That's crazy. That shit gonna have me
I'm
fucked up.
I'm off 2 days consecutively next week, so I'll probably dig into it.
Let me tell y'all something.
I will also advise everybody if you can watch on Netflix Camp Crip. Or is it Camp Crip?
Don't start by. Don't start. And it's called Crip Camp, and I did watch it. I was gonna recommend that to Adonis. It's a really good watch.
Yeah, it is.
I do want to wait. I want to clarify that I am not laughing at the subject matter. I don't want to offend anybody. I want to let that be very well. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because when Bernice explained to me what this was and recommended to me, the conversation we had surrounding to the buildup of what I thought it was gonna be versus what it was just a kiki. But it was. I haven't watched it yet.
You thought it was gang banging and stacking?
This is how Bernice. No, let me tell it. Bernice brought it to me, and Bernice was like, "Okay, so let me bring something by you." So it's a show. Okay, got something to do with the Obamas, I believe, and it's called Crip Camp. So just
because they did produce it.
They did. So I said, so just leave it there. So I'm just like, okay. I mean, I didn't know what it was being about, but I just for sure didn't think that they were referring to Cripple when they were saying Crip Camp. That was the last thing I thought.
But you also got to think about the terminology at that time. Like that was the word they used.
Because that was my Bernice's question. Like, are they aware that it was called that? Like,
they were saying it. Like, okay. When you watch it, they reference themselves.
Yeah, at the time when me and Byron had the conversation about it, I would be totally transparent that I had not watched the documentary. I was more taken back by the name.
We were.
I'm not gonna be able to watch that and be okay. Like I can't because y'all he bust out laughing, which immediately gave me no ma'am, because you silly.
No, me and he laughed for a totally different reason that had nothing.
Yeah.
Like it had something to do between me and him. But if you watch it, it's really very enlightening, and it shows how which something we already know because most of us live in marginalized groups, right? How marginalized people are always left to fend and fight for themselves. Like it was totally up to the disabled people to establish the rights and the policies for themselves to get wheelchair accessible restaurants.
Yeah, like we were
buildings or to have seating in restaurants where people in wheelchairs can sit down, or just have it be safe for people who were disabled to just be in spaces. Because really, people, if you watch the community, it was people who was fearful of them. Like, oh, if I'm by you, I'm gonna catch disabled too.
Yeah. And then, like, we come from, because you got to think about young enough, we've always existed in a place where we've always saw wheelchair accessible ramps. At that time, that wasn't a thing. Like these people, like it's really a tearjerker. And like Kim said, if you don't have the emotional bandwidth to watch it, you can watch the drunk history version of it. But it's definitely something that I would recommend anybody watching, especially again. Like Vern said, being a part of a marginalized group, and you saw these people actually fist bump. And I don't want to give away anything. Well, we know we do have handicap reps now. But shout out to the Black Panther Party because they played a real instrument, like a vital part with assisting with it.
What you said, Jordan? We can't really hear you.
I was saying it's a show. We're talking about different things. A show popped up in my head. David makes me. I know it's kind of old now. I don't know if some people have watched it, but if you haven't watched it, it is a very powerful series to watch because it puts you in a place of being an individual dealing with certain types of aspects of how you should be, how you balance decide with decide, you know, what you're gonna be. So I think that's a very good series if somebody hasn't watched it.
Yeah, I love David Mates, man. That's a great series. I really, really do. I really, really do. But you know, another good part to watch about Crick Camp is that it also talked about how a lot of those people had their first sexual encounters at their camp, and because of that, they had like high cases of like chlamydia and syphilis and stuff like that, because a lot of them was just having sex with each other, because that was the
Okay, you know what?
I play with you. Kimmy, like I play with you, Kimmy.
But no, you gotta think about it. That was their first sense of normalcy, and they were saying that even though that that they had all these different disabilities, that was the first place where they felt normal, where they didn't feel as though they were being ostracized, overly coddled, or had to deal with overbearing people.
A lot of sex.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you denied it, and it's hard for you, honestly, let's just say if you were somewhere that probably didn't, nobody wanted to deal with someone, a black person, like sexual or anything all your life,
Well,
and then you finally get around.
I've dealt with that. People don't like fat girls. You know the fat girls had to deal with a lot.
Because I asked him the other day, did one of his girls swim? One of his friends swim in the fat girl pool, so he know.
So what I'm saying is, I dealt with it. We just became popular.
Yeah, I'm about to make it a whole other conversation. I'm gonna sit up here on my phone. I'm not gonna play.
You know what? I have never had an issue getting no sex. Like I ain't never had an issue getting no dick, getting no ass, no pussy, whatever it is. No
I want to be clear. We're not saying that. Me and my sisters not saying that we have problems getting it. But you know, the girls try to act like, or people try to act like that they don't date bigger people or fat people.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying I ever
same girls in your inbox.
I'm just gonna say, if you haven't had full size, you're missing out.
Period, Pooh.
And I didn't know that was a common narrative. That was something that was extremely like interesting for me to find out as I got older. Like, because I grew up around a very full figure family, and I was the one that got a high metabolism at the sky. So I was the one that couldn't, like, I was the runt, like, in the whole family. Why he don't gain weight? So I remember thinking, like, bigger is better. Like, I always thought like that, and I was always like envious of that. So when I got older, it was like, oh, people have an issue with that? Like, is that not the norm? Is it not the other way around? Like, I thought being slim was the bad thing. Like, it was like unhealthy, you know? Like, it was, so I always thought that was an interesting thing growing up.
I will say that when you live in a larger body, people try to play you, like in relationships, and feel like people won't desire you.
You will accept anything. You will allow them to treat you like
yes.
That ain't happening. When I weigh 400 pounds, bitch, you can suck my dick at 245. You can suck my dick at my lowest weight, 160 pounds. You can suck my dick.
Now that's the energy.
I want to say something to people, because y'all talk about fat phobia, but they have this misconception just because you're overweight or that you're a size of larger stature that you're insecure about your body. That has nothing to do with anything.
Right.
That has nothing to do with anything. And I think that's what happens.
I've always lived in a plus size body, but I've always had a bunch of ass. I have a lot of ass, and the ass, it attracts people to me.
Come on,
ass. Brazilians, everybody just, they follow me in stores and shit trying to talk to me.
Okay, I just want to point out all the people that be like on social media, like, oh, they can't do fat people. Mamas be watering all outside, but that's neither here nor there.
So it's been a lot of good things on Netflix. I know we talked about it.
Subject. Go ahead.
I know.
We got it on back to Netflix.
All right.
While y'all talking about things that y'all need to watch on a more serious note, I was an aspiring YouTuber. I'm now a YouTuber. I do have 2 videos on my channel. So if y'all have any free time, go subscribe to Doll Talk. It's DOLLTALK.
Drop that link in the comments.
Yeah, post that up on the Mahogany page. I definitely subscribe and watch them.
Thank you.
And while you guys are there, make sure you guys are subscribing to the Mahogany Project YouTube channel so you can watch some of our content. on there as well. And make sure you guys are looking out for more content coming from me, Marnina, in Living Colors. We bi-weekly. What we doing, y'all?
Say it again, Vern.
We do Living Colors now. I don't have too much crown.
Right.
No, you said what?
I was like, he said something.
I think bi-weekly Tuesdays is when we have
Oh yeah.
if you don't know, just look for the post, okay? Blame it on the alcohol.
Oh, I'm scared.
And then also, because I feel as though like it's getting a lot of flack, we talked about some Living Color, but I actually enjoyed Black AF.
Oh my God,
seriously.
Oh, Black
AF.
Shine, man, this show had me cracking up.
Like, I love the humor. I love the dry humor.
Funny.
Indeed. I love it.
Yeah.
I do want to say this though. And we talked about this. Especially with all the stuff going on with they saying about Rashida Jones as far as being since she's biracial and by some standards, a lot of people can see her passing. My thing is, I just want to understand for Black people that we're always preaching equity and equality, that we have to understand that though she may in certain situations be able to quote unquote pass that she represents a group of women within our community that still, when they are amongst white women, still do not get treated as that. And also that we shouldn't try to invalidate their Blackness to push ours ahead. Like if we're going to talk about these issues, because yes, we need diversity, we need more diverse roles. However, we also need to understand that I'm from the South, Houston, Texas, born and bred. My Blackness is different. Even me sharing the fact that we was privileged, I was somewhat kind of privileged, not thinking everybody learned about recycling. Everyone had this way of life. And for us, and we have to also realize, like, when we're watching A Different World, the characters that Denise Huxtable played, Willie Gilbert played, they had a whole different Black experience. So we have to understand that it's just not that one Black experience. And when people are telling their truth, it's their truth. We're still able to push that we need diversity. And like Issa Rae said, like she started out on YouTube filming what she wanted to see. Unfortunately, when we don't see us, let's use it as an opportunity to take advantage of trying to put something together what we do.
Agree.
I think that it's great. I think that it was a great show, but I think that it shows a Black experience. I don't think it shows like the majority of the Black experience, but they still took the Black name and took like our Blackness and what we typically go through or our culture and just put it on something that was like, that isn't something, it didn't represent the culture, the Black culture that I'm a part of and that I see a lot. It just represented a different type of Black. Not saying that they don't exist, but you can get that to us without putting Black on it. Black as fuck, because it wasn't Black as fuck. It was Black.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a monolithic group, right? So, you know, you got different experiences. And I think that was just one experience, like you said. I think like he made it, you know, and that was just like, okay, now that I made it, like how do you assimilate and maneuver with your kids and everything, like now that you got money, like it's different. So I feel like it did a good job of capturing like that experience, but obviously it's not necessarily our experience because
I did like how it addressed the relationship, and I think we talk about this on Living Color. We're so used to seeing the good times, the family matters, everybody hates Chris, the way how they deal with their kids. I love the way how it showed a different way of Black people dealing with their kids. That if we haven't been familiar with, we're adjacent to somebody who has that interaction with their parents. The fact that him and his daughter, like when they'll be calling each other names, not disrespectful names, but like what he was saying, that's what he was saying. Like, why you acting like a dick? He called a dickhead most of the time. And I thought that was funny how they were able to somewhat joke on that level, but still they knew who was the authority figure when it came time to it.
I couldn't never call my parents no dick, like, so I couldn't relate to that. But at the end of the day, like, you know, they had kids in their like early 20s, so now he like 40 with an 18-year-old or what have you, and it's like that's how they get down. But so it's not my experience per se, but I can see how that's where they are with their experience.
Sure. But that's completely different. That's not I have a different opinion about the whole Black as Fuck TV show Unfortunately, I cannot discuss that. You'll have to catch
We
the
gotta
real
go to the YouTube.
no, the real gag on Wednesday.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
I got my notes.
Did you know?
There's some problematic stuff in there.
Was it a bad experience or something that they cultivated for a show for Netflix, right? And while Black people are not monolithic, when we think of black as fuck, and I hate to say this, but everything I do come to my mind is we think of nigga shit, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Shit. There we go.
so in Black as fuck, I said it on the Mahogany Project page, just some more of the Vernon McFarlane page, but where was the nigga shit?
True.
And they definitely did have it there. That's why y'all have to honestly watch because they had some
I
moments.
feel like they tried to keep it real. They did.
Yeah,
The
I think they did good. I think
that I didn't like like you said, with it being Black as fuck and being Black, and it's supposed to show this different view, right, of a different Black experience, right? So like one thing that I noticed that I remember seeing on Twitter and I kind of looked into, so like the mother. So on the show, I believe she plays like she has like both Black parents, but in real life, she's like, I think biracial. I think her mother's white.
Jones, though.
Yeah, Quincy Jones.
Jones has never played an African American role on television.
Right. So my thing is, why couldn't she have been Black with a mixed mother and still have been just as Black as fuck? Why did y'all have to then incorporate? Because then it kind of gives when she then kind of like pushing the Black woman stereotype by becoming Blacker so she can identify to her own Blackness that's supposed to be Black as fuck. Like, but then he's also had other problematic works that makes me have that kind of preconceived feeling about the show. But
I see.
And he definitely said he wanted to base it off his life.
Wait a second, because y'all made the conversation. We want to prioritize and give everybody an opportunity to talk. So go ahead, Darren.
I think I would have liked the show better if it was just called like Still Black or like Still Nigga. Like if it was Still Black, it would have been fine. But Black as fuck just made me go into it with one expectation, and it fucked up my mind when it wasn't. Not to take away that it's a great show, but if it would have gave me Still Black, I would have been like, this show, I fuck with him a lot more. But Black as fuck, it fucked me up. It just took over my mindset going into it.
I can see that.
Yeah, I definitely think they did that for like clickbait, and then because you thinking, and then I'm thinking because what I stopped doing after, I forgot what show it was, but whenever someone was like saying pro-Black or this, I forgot what TV show it was, but I had to step back and say, hold on, Donis, or you want this to be your experience of familiarity, or you gonna be willing to accept somebody else's experience? I don't know what it is to have a biracial mother, biracial father, or biracial sibling. However, my friends they had moments to where their Blackness is questioned. I come from a place of privilege. Like, regardless of having a Nigerian father, like I look Black. Like no one's going to like question that. So I was thinking like, in some spaces I can see how they can become an issue. And not only am I having to deal with racism, I have to deal with colorism, and then trying to quote unquote prove how Black I am, or if I'm saying something that's pro-Black, is it being questioned and I'm overcompensating because I have a lighter skin?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was gonna make, because it's like when you mix, it's like you too Black for the white folks and too white for the Black folks, and you're just trying to find where you fit in. And sometimes like some mixed people are more militant even than I am. I'm like, whoa, but I don't have to overcompensate because I know I'm Black, and everybody that see me know I'm Black.
She could have been all that with a white mother on,
and like, hey, I'm Black, and I'm, so I don't know how that feels.
That's how
but
Rainbow is, and Rainbow got a white mom.
Y'all, why do we only associate mixed racial or being biracial as being lighter skinned, as if you multicultural or biracial? Two ethnicities that have darker skin.
Wait, say it again. Somebody use on internet.
Being biracial or multicultural as a lighter skin, when the reality of that is you can be biracial and multicultural and exist or have a darker complexion. There are.
That's definitely a truth. Because my girlfriend is Cuban and she's dark.
So she Afro. So, because are we talking about like biracial as far as we talking about race or about ethnicity? Because
she's Cuban and Black though.
So she Afro-Hispanic.
But I get that. I get that sometimes because people try to question me because of my heritage. They try to question me, what am I mixed with? And I tell them I'm just African American, and they be like, no, you're not. You're lying. I'm
We
like,
see that good hair.
yes, I know my mother, father. I'm black. So what you mean? So and then there's a constant thing. So some people think I'm Spanish. Some people think I'm Dominican, but they always question me as far as how black I am. And we have that. It is not just about your look. You can, like Adonis said, he was in Katy. They'll question your blackness because you're not from South Park. They're gonna try to figure out how black are you really. You know, or do you really know the hood, or are you really black? And I feel like we do that all the time. But the melanin inside of our skin does not define how black we are as an individual for as far as our experience.
Right.
It causes a lot of problems because I know a lot. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Herm Clark. You can Google Herm Clark thugs, and literally the guys that pop up are the people that I grew up with. I know about slanging dope. I know about breaking the cars, all that stuff. I've seen it. But that don't mean I lived that experience personally. But it doesn't take away from my blackness either.
Right. And that goes back to us not being a monolithic group. Like, you know, we got different experiences and we may be exposed to certain things, but that don't mean that's who we are, what we represent per se. So
Right.
Because a lot of people saying they couldn't identify, and yes, we're in a different age, and I am not a fan of this person. However, I do understand like what it did for the culture. But how many people honestly identify with the Cosby Show? Because I don't know too many people who had that type of upbringing. But yet it did something for the culture, and it did expose people. Because even though that it still represented that the lower tier, that 1%, you still had black people who live like that.
yeah.
Right.
Like the Cosby Show for me, like younger, I couldn't relate. But now I look at it like that's where I want to go. That's what I want to be. Like that's where I'm trying to get. Like I think it was ahead of its time. You know, like I feel like black progressives are moving toward that now. And that's where they were 30 years ago. So like I couldn't relate back then, but I relate better now.
I
Like,
could relate because I never knew a struggle. My grandfather was a full bird colonel or something in the service, and my grandmother had like 3 businesses and a job. So I didn't know a struggle. Even though I grew up in Third Ward, my grandmother owned her own. I did go to Yates. I didn't know about drug use or any of that. Like, so I'm ghetto because I want to be ghetto.
And then again, it just goes to show that it's multiple ways of being black and existing black.
For sure.
Right.
That's what the Cosby Show showed me, because I think, like, to me, the Cosby, like, I always knew, like, with white narratives, like, I would see, like, oh, their narratives, they do this, they can achieve that. So to me, seeing that different narrative kind of gave me a higher thing to aim for. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't think nobody necessarily lived like that per se, but I know we don't only have to live like Florida Evans in them.
Right.
I know we don't only, like, we might not ever live like that, but we don't only have to live like that either.
Right.
Or even with the Jeffersons too. The Jeffersons showed that, and I know there's a little bit before our time we seen this syndication, but they had showed a different way of being black. And I was looking back because we were talking about diversity, and I think I was talking to my friends today, but that was honestly the first time, and I don't know too many people pay attention to it, was because normally you have a darker skinned husband and a lighter skinned wife, but it was the first time I saw a lighter skinned man with a darker skinned wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they were living like on the upper echelon. So representation is important. I definitely think that we need more of it, but I don't think we should discredit others for speaking their truth.
No shade to y'all, but the first show for me of that experience that I can resonate with or have experience or knowledge of is 227.
Was who?
Was 227.
227.
Oh, yo. But that came after the Jefferson, yo.
227 was my first, like, I'm not saying I don't know about, like, you know, Family Matters and, you know, the Cosbys and the Jeffersons, but to me, the first depiction of a black family, which was truly a black family with a black wife and a black husband and a black daughter in a complex with black people, and the lightest person was the neighbor that, no shade to her, was very...
Sandra.
And I live for Sandra.
Live.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That was kind of like one of my first experiences with 227. That's when I saw, you know, black and look.
This shirt wearing me out.
Let me shout this because I know I've seen this like on memes before, and they said which TV mom represents your mom? And for me, I didn't really see my mom as a Harriet, a Claire, a Florida, or Florence. I didn't see my mom until I got basically in my late teens, early 20s, where everybody hates Chris when when Pam was Chris' mom. I like, okay, then finally there go my mama. Like my mama would cuss me out in a minute, real quick.
Yeah.
Didn't care about it. And I was finally glad to see that representation again because you had all these cookie cutter mamas that like still got their kids together but did it nicely. Now my mama would cuss me out. Her heart, everything's in the right place, but the how she disciplined me looked way more like that than what I saw prior to.
Yeah.
Giving me, my mama said, "My daddy Nigerian, and we don't have to take this."
Wait, what happened?
My husband worked 2 jobs.
Again for the drunk people.
I said, "You giving very." My mama said, "My daddy Nigerian, and we don't have to take this."
Yeah, if I would have said that, my mom, let me tell you something. She didn't care about that then. She'll care about that now. She would have stole off on me. And still probably still off on me. School teacher and all.
Straight up.
I did have a very Claire Huxtable mama. Like, people were scared of my mama because she's so calm. Like, she never cussed us out, never went the fuck off on us, but she would say it so calm, like, you better go in there and wash them dishes. And if you didn't wash the dishes, you got your ass beat. So I love my mama. She very chill, calm. My daddy's the same way. So when people cuss at me or they yell at me, I be ready to fight. Cause my upbringing was not that. So when you yell at me, we ready to throw down. Cause now you done disrespected me. So I be letting everybody I know I date, like, hey, don't scream at me, don't yell at me. Like,
I didn't see my mom on 2 weeks on TV till a couple weeks ago. My mom was giving very much so Dr. Maddie Mark Cloth. Like she was giving. That was pain.
Yeah.
And was giving. I don't care what them don't know guy folks out there doing. That was
yes.
Also, the women they can come to your house with no pants on, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom was like, you making cookies and science. You probably
that.
smoking reefer too.
Yeah, no pants. My grandmother was the mother of the church. She was the mother of the church who would still curse you the fuck out by looking at you in the church if you was chewing gum in the back of the church. Like, I had a very Christian organized religion. I was at church 365 days in a motherfucking year. They had a prayer breakfast, a prayer lunch, a prayer brunch. They had a coming to Jesus afternoon prayer session. I didn't, and she would still cuss me the fuck out and beat my motherfucking ass, and that was just that.
So maybe that's why I love the 227 so much, because my mom, the Marla Gibbs character in 227, remind me of that mom. Why she will get on you, she would still have that compassion and we're not gonna tell your daddy this, we gonna do this, But I, miss and then and growing up, he was very much so. 227 remind me of apartment complex. Like, my mom worked at the school that we went to that was 2 apartments over. So the people there was always something going on at the house, whether it was somebody who kids went to the school, they want to know what was going on at the school. So they stopping by the house. Or my mom had to deal with somebody in the apartments or something because my mom was always volunteerism. That's why it's probably big with me. My mom would also operate the food lunch programs in the summer. So she definitely reminded me of the Marla Gibbs character, and maybe that's why that's the first thing that resonates to me.
And representation matters. Cause I'm not trying to stay off the conversation, but I was thinking also, what was the first queer character that I saw on TV that I was like, wow, it's possible to be an adult and still have that and to live in your truth. And it was the movie Windsor Brewster Place for me. And it wasn't even too gay mean. It was like the fact they had them 2 legs. And the baby, when she's fixing that meatloaf and she wasn't taking no stuff from that old woman, baby, I was like, oh yeah, I can definitely be loud and proud in my own skin.
Yup. Representation is everything. Like,
yes.
I didn't look at TV for the whole gay thing, because my grandmother's best friend, even though she was the mother of the church, And I didn't know that this was a guy until years later. But her best friend was a trans, and I did not know that. Like, Miss Chickadee was Miss Chickadee to me, and I never knew that was a trans woman.
They called her Miss Chickadee, bitch.
Yes, and she
I called that first name.
she owned the cafe that was like in the upper side of like Dowling. She had a cafe over there.
Over there by the old the club all the black celebrities used to go to. The upstairs. Oh, okay, I know.
Yes. So she was like upscale. Like I loved her because she always had like bags and fur. My grandmother had like vintage pieces. Like my grandmother was very before she became a Christian, like hard down Christian woman. I saw furs, I saw silk dresses. Like I still have some of my grandmother real life 100% silk dresses. Like they lived that lifestyle. Like, and I didn't know Miss Chickadee was a trans at all, but I loved the fuck out of her. Like I was like, when is Chickadee coming out?
I like that name, Chickadee.
I have not seen a larger lesbian on TV. Like I have not seen a fat lesbian on TV at all. And no, like none of that. I always see like the skinny little white girls with the nipples, not the titties. They don't have titties.
They have nipples. Yeah. But like my friend has recently started dating a girl who was previously straight, and I was like, well, how did you know? You introduced her to the lifestyle. Why this bitch told me she let her watch the L Word?
Oh wow!
I was like, that don't represent us, girl.
It don't. And I still don't think there's a black lesbian.
Maybe they were saying pay attention to Pam Grier character.
I don't know. I think it's the L Word and everything else that we watch. Lesbian is becoming it's a fun experience that people just want to try and do. It's like, oh, girl, play with it and be done with it. But self-identified male can't do that. Once he do it one time, even look at a man in a sexual way, he's gay. That's done. Like that's nothing. So with a female, she can fly, go back and forth and do what she wants. She can look a little cat over here. She can suck a little dick over here. She do what she want to do. And I think that's where it causes a problem, because if a male do it, then he's straight up gay. Like, oh, you straight, oh, you gave head, you're a bottom. Oh, done.
Yeah, and I mean that happens in real life because my cousin has been
the bottom. My God,
that's what people do. Like, I do what I do when I ain't no bottom. But anyway, that's fine. Roll on.
I mean, that's true, and it happens in real life because my cousin has been the gay quote unquote cousin, but it wasn't okay for him to be gay until I showed up to the first family reunion with a girl, and they was like, "Is that a girl?" And then everything, it was just like rainbows and sunshine and birds and shit.
It's not an issue, but I know if I bring somebody around, it's gonna be a whole conversation, a whole letdown, a whole Jesus. Let me get that water for you. Let me get that water.
Oh no, they did that. They definitely did that. I got dashed with water so many times and got
I dashed.
Dash.
Not Emerald Lagasse with the whole
Listen, a dash, a whole fucking dash.
It's coming.
So I mean that happened, but if they never like made it, and it was an issue because they would call him that little gay boy, and yeah, like that shit pissed me the fuck off because in the back of my in my mind I was like, but I'm sucking on the pussy every night, bitch. I just don't know.
Okay, for a female it's okay, but for a male it's not okay, because homosexuality or into men, however you want to put it, is classified as a weakness. So if you're weak, then you're less of a man. So it causes this whole concept of you being less than. But I'm thinking like, I can do what I want to do. I mess with who I want to mess with. And the people who don't say anything, I don't think that everybody don't have to, have a rainbow flag and put it on your back and show who you are and what you like. I don't feel like that's for everybody. That's not everybody's journey, because that's a heavy weight to carry. But I will say, what you do in your bedroom is what you do in your bedroom. So these men that I know that like to get played around and get paid by their girls, that don't mean they into men. They just like to get paid. Let's just keep it honest. And for those who don't know what the pig is, please Google it.
I mean, you get for. Well, I'll just tell them because we have an episode. If you listen to the real gag, we talked about women who peg their men. They just like to get fucked in the ass, but that feel good. So I'm with it. If you want to let your girlfriend play in your booty hole, then sir, get your booty hole played in.
If you reach that the male G spot, that's where it is, and they don't know.
That's where it is.
So going back to representation, bringing it on back. In the words of T.S. Madison, I'm here for none of the things, none of them. But the first, and this is semi-representation, and I hate that this was the only place that I could have seen the person, but when I think about representation, and the first form of representation that I see was like, I could identify with this person, was Latrice Royale on RuPaul Drag Race. The first time there was a person that I felt that I can connect with. And in her persona and who she is as a person, they are multi-layered. They are a person that has been in prison, that does drag, that has a marriage, but also lives in a plus size, and there's also darker skin, and then you evolve into the darker skin plus size woman. And so for me, the first form of representation that I could actually say of a person, like, oh, I can see myself in this person, or I can resonate with this person, was Latrice.
That's what's up.
See, I don't feel like I found a person on TV to relate to yet.
Who would be the closest one you would say then?
The closest, as far as like representative of my journey to finding like who I am now. I mean, I don't know. I guess I kind of felt like in some type of ways, like relevant, like to the Julian guy from Blackbird. I guess that was kind of a.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see some moments in that, but like I usually feel like the roles that I kind of relate to are kind of like me, except they're like the more, like stereotypical trade delusional guy on TV. Like I was never delusional about like who I was. I mean, I had some of them same struggles, but I've always been very self-aware about what I was and who I was. It was like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've seen like a different mixture of different examples, but not one that I'm just like, oh yeah, that's my journey. Like that's similar to my story.
For me, I don't have anybody that I directly relate to neither, but one thing I do have, I'm younger, so I used to watch America's Next Top Model. And so what they had was the two different type of J's. And they had Jay, they had both J's, if y'all know.
They had Miss J and then the other J.
Jay Alexander.
Yeah.
And so what that showed me was that it's more than one type of gay. Like it's more than one type of queer. Like you can pick and choose who you want to be and how you want to show up, but it's not just one type of gay out here. And I think it was just the fact that I saw two queer people together, and I was like, you know what? They got some going here. Like I like it. It's fun.
I did find that to be an interesting concept of them identifying the same name, but existing in different binaries and carrying themselves in different ways. It was, I love that.
Yeah, same.
You know what? It just took me.
You said what?
Come on, scroll blind.
It wasn't so recently. I realized, because I was still mad at Justice Smollett, and then I had realized I had felt some type of way, not all about how all they carried on. That's all a separate discussion. But I felt some type of way because I was like, that was like the first gay representation that I felt that our closeness related to. And it was like, damn, like either most of the gay men I saw, you had to be either, if it wasn't very effeminate or it wasn't very flamboyant, you had to somewhat feel into their sector or the Miss Lawrence's, things of that nature. So we finally had Jamal line. I was like, okay, this is different. This is cool. And then you on this platform, you on major time, on prime time. And then when all this stuff happened, it was just like a huge letdown. Because it was like, not only for me, but I'm just thinking of other gay black boys that were looking at that. And if they didn't get to see that and see it carried out all through the series, it was like, man, I feel as though they just got cheated. Because I mean, the first time I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is different, you know?
And that's a lot of the reason. Were you at the last impulse group function where I brought my nephew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so my nephew has recently come out to the family that he is gay or likes men or wants to sleep with men, although he has not had sex with men. That's the reason why I brought him around you all, because there was a lot of different there were a lot of different representations, and he's in high and he's not getting he and I told me he either feel like he can be the top or a bottom. He can't like both. And I'm like, where are you getting this information from? So I was like, okay, you're coming to the with me, because I don't want him to feel like he has like, you know, like you can full out live your life, be what you want to be, and look how you want to look, and not be placed in a box.
Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn though for our. That was my struggle.
Yeah.
Are at a 2-hour mark, and only fine. If y'all go on, we can definitely go on. I do want to be mindful of what I asked for and what you guys have provided me with. And I'm very appreciative of your time, but I do know that you guys have other things to do tonight. But if you guys want to go on, we can. If anybody want to duck out, feel free to do so. What are y'all feeling? Let me know.
The sun not really came down. I not already ate. I just set my prayer to the side. I not already ate. I got a little bit more time. Well, let me check.
Okay, what about you, George?
Oh, I just said I was going to say I'm enjoying this anniversary.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm saying enjoying this anniversary.
Y'all remember what I started with? This is what I got now.
Hey, it's a party. What you thought?
I'm gonna drink, take this shot. I'm gonna use the restroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the crown apple.
And bitch, when I clock out, I'm coming to your house.
You say what?
When I clock the fuck out, I'm coming over there and we're gonna cackle.
Bitch, come on.
And I'm gonna be on FaceTime.
I'll be here waiting, up and ready, okay?
I'm calling on FaceTime because it's been a minute since we done did our thing. So
okay, let me go use the restroom. Y'all feel free to go ahead. I'm gonna go grab my phone.
I'll be back. Oh, and Burn, also tomorrow, if it's a good time for you for us to do our DIY. I was ripping and running for Ramadan, so I didn't get a chance, but I got all of the
I gotta use the restroom.
All right.
Okay, so what are you saying about that's hard because Byron, you were saying.
I was saying because coming in, I was what I look back and like to call just delusional and just didn't really know about what gay was. I didn't grow up around like having any understanding around or anything. So like when I came into gay and I was like, well, what is gay? And I started looking around in society. Okay, like, so what do people call gay? You know, people say, you gay when you less athletic, you gay if you wear certain colors, you walk a certain way, you stand a certain way, talk a certain way. And a lot of those things that people said were gay didn't apply to me. So I was like, oh, well, I must not be gay then. So I went a long time feeling like that was valid thinking. And so then when I got into being gay and I started looking at other examples, that lack of representation made me feel as if like, oh, well, damn, I don't fit in the gay world either, because for me to be gay, I have to know how to do this, or I have to act like this, or I have to be this kind of guy. So I was just basically piggybacking off of him saying like, yeah, that representation is important for that reason, because a lot of us come in, like you said, the first 15 years of our lives not knowing who we are and trying to find that person. And then when you come into that person and feel like you have a limited amount of representation or examples, it can cause a lot of discord for me, or at least it did for me. That was my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I struggle with that, but I've always like people try.
What is all that?
Oh, I just brought over. I got some orange juice. I got some ginger ale.
Oh.
I got.
Okay. No, let me go to my top shelf.
I've had people try to box me in, and I don't like that. Like,
what?
I don't like to be boxed in, or like you know this, because I'm very, very, very. I'm not like obnoxiously gay, or I force the fact that I'm gay on people, but I'm just me, bitch. I'm loud. I'm boisterous, and I mean I'm quiet in certain situations. Like when it's professional, I will act, But when I'm in my element, bitch, I'm me and
Just
Kim is
kidding.
proud and proud. And very,
But you
very,
just kidding.
very, very much so fucking cunty.
But
Ooh,
see, you
start.
just kidding.
Yeah,
And that's
cunty,
what
stunty, bitch.
it,
Yes, ma'am. So like, I hate that.
it's so hard. It really is. When people try to tell you what you are before you even know what you decide what you want to do. You
Come on.
got, huh? I'm saying you got this textbook, like, oh, let me get this book. So if I'm into men, then that means I need to do this, 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 and this. I don't know about this. I don't really watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I know how to sew.
Right.
But I mean, saying I know how to do certain things.
I'm about to watch it very shortly.
Right. So I'm saying, but people talk to me, and it's like I don't fit that experience. Now, if you take me to the sheets, I can show you what I can do. That's a whole other side of it. And I think that's
Talk
where
about it.
I'm just saying. So that's where it came to me being into my own. So I feel like I didn't fit that experience. So it kind of made me where people were like, oh, you're not really into men. You just like to have sex. And then women were like, you're not
Right.
into women. You just into men. You just scared to talk about it. I was like, no, if you ask me the right questions, I'll give you the right answers. So I feel like everybody has this different type of mentality. And once you have that box around you, then you try to fit into it. If you don't fit, then you don't fit.
True.
Yeah,
That's why
and I don't even think I necessarily tried to fit in a box. I think it was just for me the lack of. It's like you don't know that there are other. You don't know that you're in a box. You just think that that's what it's supposed to be because that's a narrative. Because the gay narrative, especially in the Black community, has a lot of things written with it for you that come to like in that narrative that are written for you. So it was me not. Yeah. Like I didn't know where gay people was. Like everybody didn't know. Like other people my age knew about BGC and Jack, and they knew what the gay club was, and they knew about all the other gay. If they knew about Noah's Ark, and they knew about stuff like that, and I didn't know none of that. So I just thought, like you said, all I knew was on Tyra Banks, like Miss J and Jay. I was like, oh, well, that's what gay people are like. I know RuPaul, them two, and I know. So I just felt like that was whatever I've seen presented in front of me, I thought was the options. And there's only typically a very small amount represented on television. So.
And to be honest with you, I had feelings for women when I was 15 years old, right? I denied that because again, I'll tell you, I grew up like in a organized religion home. She was non-denominational. The Bible was going to be thrown at me, all type of bullshit like that, right? But I started going to gay functions with my gay friends. And I would tell them, like, you nasty, you eat coochie. And I was condemning myself really because I wanted to eat some coochie too, right? But I started out like being a fag head, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if that makes like. But when I saw the first girl like in the club and she was like finding a motherfucker, I was like, that's a girl. And then I knew at that very moment I was gay because I went back every single fucking weekend to go find that girl.
Did you find her?
I did.
You find her?
And she was my very first sexual encounter. We didn't end up like being together. I see her now and be like, hey girl.
We should take a shot for that one.
I'm not taking no fucking shot with y'all.
I think that's why I fell in love with the term queer, because I'll rather be under this umbrella term that don't put any like pressure upon me being gay. Like you gay, you should know how to do X, Y, and Z. Or I think queer took away of that pressure for me. And that's why I try to push that agenda too. Like if you don't know, just go with queer. Like you don't have to you don't have to put a name on it yet. You don't have to put a name on it yet. As you figure it out, you can figure out what you is, but chill out.
Or I would even go as far as to just say, I'm me. When people ask my pronouns, I'm very strict about my pronouns are very much so. Because regardless of how or how I want to exist as a person at the end of the day, when I go lay in my bed, the only person, you'll find me that person. Okay? And so that's just me. And so it's nothing wrong with existing or claiming no other identity but besides who you are and how you exist.
That's good.
Yeah, that's why I use queer. I always, once I found out about queer, I was really excited about it, about the word queer. And because I feel like I don't have a label that defines my sexuality or defines who I am as a person. And I was like, okay, I know that I'm along this spectrum somewhere. Because sometimes I'll date men, sometimes I'll date women, sometimes I'll date folks with trans experience that are along the masculine spectrum. And so I was like, what term defines me? I know that I'm not pansexual because I'm not really attracted to like feminine women. So I definitely probably wouldn't date a lipstick lesbian, and I probably wouldn't date a trans woman. So where does my identity
So
lie?
wait, does that so okay? Well, I so just to be clear, and I dated a trans, like I've dated several trans men, but I thought I was just straight. So does that mean I'm like queer too? I don't know. Because now I'm confused and I'm drinking. And
I mean, because queer can fall under bisexual.
I say, fuck it. How you feel? Like, what you think you? How you feel?
I mean, the reason why the
How do
trans,
you identify? What do you
listen, the reason
It can
why the
change
trans
tomorrow
shit,
too.
listen, let me tell you, the reason why the trans shit did not work for me is because I still want to eat pussy. I still want to put my strap on and fuck pussy. I still want to bump pussies. I am a full-on fucking lesbian. And like that shit just didn't work for me because it was very like so you don't want me to touch you, so you mean I can't touch you at all.
I will say this. That's
What
not
trans man ain't letting you eat?
I'm
Because
Let's change the topic, please.
We are not gonna fucking talk about that.
As a cis man, we run into the same
Is,
issues,
oh my
so it's
God.
okay. As a cis
okay,
man,
let me calm it down.
Well, hold on. Can we get off live Facebook Live and continue the conversation?
Y'all want to start Facebook Live?
Yes,
we
please.
feel you,
because I
sister.
really need to know what the fuck I am.
We see each other.
I hope y'all enjoy the
My family listening.
you guys. So bye now.